Welcome to Storymapr. Today we're going to cover how to create stories and how to set up scenes and connect them with each other. Let's get started. So if you want to create a story, you have to go to the top bar and click on Stories. And then if you already created some stories, you will see them here. And if you want to edit them, you simply click on the title or the little pen icon. If you want to delete an existing story, you click on the little trash icon. But if you're just starting out, that page will be completely empty and you have to go to the top right corner and click on New Story. So first you have to give your story a name, for example, Office Stories. And then you can either check or uncheck the autosave. I'm unchecking it right now, but you can also always change that later. And then you click Create Story. So that brings you to the scene manager. And yeah, so your first step is to create your first scene. So you click on plus scene up here. And then you will see every scene consists of a title, a description, a character or several characters, the location, and the dialogue. So go ahead and type in your title for the scene, like introduction, and then you put in your description what is happening. For example, Sarah and Phil are meeting in the cafeteria. They are talking about their day and enjoying their coffees. So then go ahead and select the characters. In my case, that is Phil and Sarah. It's a simple multi-select. But for you to be able to select characters, you first have to set them up here on the character page. And yeah, whenever you create a character, that will automatically show up here. And then the same applies to locations. So you first have to set up your locations on the location page, and then they will show up here and you can just simply select it. And we also give you the option to connect a dialogue to your scene. So I, for example, created a dialogue between Sarah and Phil at the cafeteria, and I just put that in here. If you haven't created a dialogue yet or locations or characters, don't worry. You don't have to fill in all the fields yet. You can always come back later and then connect them. So for now, I'm adding the scene, and you see you created your first scene. And yeah, every scene has the title. You see your description, the characters, location, and the dialogue. And you also see that these points are all linked. So for example, I can click on Phil and Sarah here, and that opens a new window and brings me to the character page. So for example, if I want to make a change to Sarah, I just can click on Sarah and change the description or the color I gave her or even the name. And then I can just close that window. If I want to make a change to the location here, I click on it, it opens a new window with the cafeteria page, and I could also make changes here. And yeah, the same applies to the dialogue. I just click on it, and voila, I'm in the dialogue between Sarah and Phil. So I could now go ahead and just go on with editing and adding to the dialogue. To go out of it, I just close the window, and it brings me back to our story manager. So to create the next scene, I click the next scene button up here, and I can give it a title, but I don't have to. I put in the description like Sarah and Phil are going into Sarah's office. She shows him her work on her computer. And then you select the characters again, Phil and Sarah, the location. I already created Office 1, so I select that one. I'm not connecting a dialogue yet, I just add the scene. And you see, because I selected the next scene button, it automatically connects the scene to the other scene with an arrow. If I would press the plus scene button, it would create a scene that is not connected with an arrow to the other scenes. But you can also simply get rid of arrows by just dragging them out and letting them go. And then if you want to reconnect scenes, you just go into the bottom part of the scene, you click and drag, you see the arrow coming out of it, and you just let it go on the scene you want to connect it with. Yeah, and you just go ahead and create more scenes. So you click on either plus scene or next scene, whatever you want. You can give it a title like Fight in the Office. Put in the description like more co-workers are showing up. They start a fight. And then you select your characters, Kasumi, Millie, whoever is showing up. You select the location, Office 2. You can select a dialogue and you add scene. And here's the new node. And then, yeah, you just connect it with arrows, however you want it to be. One thing you might notice is the different colors of the scenes. The colors come from the locations. So when you create a location, you can give every location a color, and then this color shows up here. So for example, Cafeteria, I gave the dark green, or Office number 1, I gave the purple. So whatever color your locations have, that's what's going to show up here in the scenes. Another thing to know is if you want to delete a scene, just click on the little X up here. So we just delete that. Don't forget to save it, or if you can also check or uncheck your autosave up here, and then here you will see the time your scenes were last saved. If you want to zoom in or out, you can do that up here. So now you would zoom out, for example. If you want to move around on your board, you just click, you just hold the shift button and you just drag with your mouse, and that way you can move around. Just going back to 100% up here. Yeah, one more interesting thing to say is that you see these little play buttons here. That gives you the chance to play through your scenes. So if you click on play here, that opens a new window. And you see the first scene with all the descriptions here. Then you can click on next and it brings you to the next scene. And since we connected the scene to a dialogue, it automatically drops you into the dialogue. So now you see Sarah and Phil are talking. You say what they're talking about and the different options you put in here. So you can just play through that. Then it jumps to the next scene, and yeah, that was already the end. But yeah, that gives you a chance to play through your story. And you can go out of that view and go back to your scenes. So yeah, just go ahead, create different scenes, connect them with each other, and create your stories. Yeah, so I hope that was helpful for you, and talk to you soon.